You have tried to be disciplined more times than you can count. New plan, new motivation, and for a few days it works. Then it quietly falls apart, and you decide the problem is you. It is not. The reason you cannot stay disciplined is that almost everything you've been told about discipline is wrong. And once you understand what is actually happening in your brain, it stops being a fight you keep losing. By the end of this video, you will never rely on motivation again. Let me start by killing the biggest myth. Discipline is not willpower, and willpower is not a fuel tank you run out of. For years, people believed in something called ego depletion, the idea that self-control is a battery that drains through the day. But when researchers looked closer, the effect mostly vanished. People only ran out of willpower when they believed they would. The ones who saw self-control as something endless simply kept going. Read that again. Your discipline breaks not when your willpower is gone, but when you decide it is gone. The story you tell yourself is the mechanism. So if discipline is not a battery, what is it? Here is the first real shift. Discipline is not something you feel, it is something you design. Think about the last time you failed. You did not fail because you were weak in that moment. You failed because you left the decision up to a tired, emotional version of yourself and hoped he would choose well. He never does. The disciplined person does not have a stronger will in the moment. They remove the moment entirely. The gym clothes are already laid out. The phone is in another room. The junk food was never bought, so is not in the house at midnight. They win the battle before it starts by never letting willpower be the thing that decides. This is why people with great environments look superhuman, and people with bad environments blame their character. It was never character. It was design. But there is a deeper layer, and this is where most people stay stuck their whole lives. Even with a perfect environment, you will quit if you are fighting your own identity. Here is what almost nobody understands. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. When you say, "I'm trying to get fit," every hard day feels like force because deep down you still see yourself as someone who is not fit, dragging yourself toward a goal you do not believe is yours. But when you say, "I am someone who trains," the action stops being a battle and becomes proof. You are not chasing a result anymore. You are being someone. And a person does not need motivation to act like themselves. This is the secret hidden inside every disciplined person you admire. They're not grinding toward a goal. They're simply refusing to break character. So how do you actually build this? 3 things, and they're not what you expect. First, shrink it until it is impossible to fail. Not work out for an hour, but put on the shoes. The goal of a new identity is not progress, it is evidence. A tiny action done daily proves who you are far faster than a heroic effort you cannot repeat. Second, never miss twice. Missing once is human, a bad day, an accident. Missing twice is the beginning of a new, weaker identity. The disciplined are not people who never fall. They are people who refuse to fall 2 days in a row. Third, change the words. Stop saying "I have to" and start saying "I am." I have to wake up early is a prison. I am someone who owns his mornings is an identity. The language you use about yourself becomes the person you become. Now step back and see the whole thing. Discipline was never a fight you were losing because you were weak. It was a fight you were having on the wrong battlefield. You were trying to outmuscle the moment with willpower when the disciplined had already won by designing their world and becoming the kind of person the action belongs to. You do not need more motivation. Motivation is the feeling you get when you have not yet built the identity that makes the feeling unnecessary. Master that, and discipline stops being something you do and becomes something you are. Start today with one small vote for the person you are becoming. Subscribe and become unstoppable.